Hey guys, Poccus 4000 here. Today I'm playing a little spy, just like last time. Don't worry, I just have enough footage for probably 2 more spy videos. And then I think I'm gonna do some pyro gameplay. Now, let's get into what we were doing. So we are playing some spy on Badwater, probably my favorite map in the entire game. And we started off with a demo running behind us. I chased him, and he won because I was being silly. But our pyro frame came in clean, and now we have a scout running through here. He's using the pan. I don't know. He didn't notice me at first, and he still doesn't notice me. He's a little oblivious. I'm going to run at this soldier, but I mess it up. He turns around unexpectedly, and he gets me. Now, last episode I did cut out the deaths, but I did get really sick of cutting out the respawn times, and it actually was taking a lot of time, so I just sort of gave up on it. If you guys really think that it would be better if I did, then make sure you comment and tell me about that. But yeah, we're respawning, and I don't know, I did change my view models a little bit. I put everything out a little farther, and yeah, I didn't change my crosshair. I don't know. In a later footage I did. So, right here, I'm going to sneak her in the car. I love doing this, and I don't know why, but I can't get past that wall. That's definitely not the first time. And I expect someone to follow me after I get the heavy stab, but nobody does. And I mess up this stab because I think the medic is probably on the mic with that demo, because he calls it, or the demo just looked behind him because he's stopped getting healed. That's probably it. And I had to activate my DR just to get out instead of taking down the combo. Now that was a pretty aware demo, so probably if I stabbed his medic, he would have turned around and activated my DR anyway, but at least I would have gotten the medic back. Now this spy, I don't really know what he was doing, but this is why it's really good to double team a spy with the dead ringer, because as you see, I was standing behind him and my pyro was standing behind him. This wasn't even planned, but this is what happened. And we ended up killing him because I got a backstab that I was trying to go for after the pyro activated his DR. Now, I don't know. I kept having trouble getting that soldier. I couldn't predict him. I mean, the matadors didn't really seem to work. And yeah. Right here, I'm not sure why we're frozen. But yeah, okay, here we are in another clip. This time we're on defense again, on Badwater. Probably my favorite map in the whole game. So, I don't know what I'm doing here. I mean, I'm sure you guys can see in the video what I'm typing, but on Sony Vegas Pro, the thing that you see what you're voicing over is so itsy bitsy tiny. I can't see. I'm probably saying something stupid, but it doesn't matter. We're going out, and we have a pretty good team. I mean, I don't know. I do tend to hit tab a lot when I don't need to. I don't know, I care about who's on my team, and I'll try to do dumb things. So, right here, I would go for the medic stab, and I end up missing it because he walks in front of the pyro who I was going to stab, and then I miss the stab, and I end up stabbing him. And here's this demo. He actually ends up causing a lot of problems for me. Now I miss a really, really easy ambassador headshot. I don't know how, but, I mean, I'm not the best player, or even that good. I'm a pretty bad player. But my friend, pretty good player. I mean, he has an expensive weapon, so he must be good. Manages to finish him off, and they look like they're doing something, and then I hear calls for spy, so I figure, oh, it's a spy, and then because I am Poccus and I am stupid, I just decide to, instead of walking back to spawn and taking the shortcut, to walk into this room where the door doesn't open until they capture the second point, and wasting so much time, and then I waste my DR charge, so it's not going to be done by the time I get back. I don't know why I did this. Don't question it. Just realize you're watching Poccus 4000 play this game, and then I walk in right into that pyro. I do manage to DR out, but then I get killed by crossfire on the sniper. I don't know, that pyro throughout this entire game, no matter what he played, always was crit boosted. I don't think he actually did crits, because I never died to crits, but yeah. So here's this soldier. I don't know. I like the name for his gun, so we're coming back here. I don't know, I hit tab again. I'm not sure why I do that. I'm sorry, you guys. In the game, I'm just like, oh, let me check tab. So, I don't know why I'm even trying to shoot. I know I'm not going to hit any of my shots. So I managed to sneak up behind them, and this pyro notices me, and I don't know why I keep walking forward with the dead ringer, but I do. And the same guy with the Persian Persuader and the gibbous gets me. I don't know. Whenever you see a gibbous, you just sort of expect them to be bad. But I mean, he didn't have a bad loadout. He had the Arabian Demo Knight loadout, and that's a pretty good one. I mean, the Persian Persuader definitely goes well with the Splendid Screen. So here I am coming out against. Thankfully, the respawn time wasn't bizarrely long like last time. And I don't know why, but I just decided to rush the cart, just changing weapons. Probably not the best idea, but nobody actually tries to shoot me until a little later. And I don't know, I probably should have just gone for the ambassador shot, backed up a little bit, because he was on low health. But I went for the stab anyway, and people noticed me. And if it had been prior to the Dead Ringer nerf, I definitely could have gone out of there. But just like the time before that, I also could have gotten out of it. So the Dead Ringer nerf really killed the Dead Ringer. But second time that I've been killed because the nerf. I mean, I don't know. I mean, pre-nerf I would have gotten the speed boost, but the damage reduction is so immense post-nerf that I probably would have gotten away. And I run in here undisguised. I'm not sure why, at 2 revved up heavies. And there I'm a little confused because I don't get very much charge back on my Dead Ringer, but I'm not sure what this guy was doing. I mean, I walk obviously around him and I get the stab, so I mean, that's like a free stab. And this guy, my knife goes up, but my reflexes aren't fast enough. I'm kind of slow on the uptake. I mean, I'm like, what? My knife went up. So I easily could have matadored him. Not even matadored him, just a cornerless corner stab, and I mess it up again here. He's running straight at me. The fact that I can't kill a Demo Knight, especially a gibbous Demo Knight, is just, I don't know. I'm just kind of disappointed in my playing skill, but right here, we're about to respawn. This guy has a pretty cool loadout. It's made up almost entirely of all the cool new cosmetics, which I will probably be doing some gameplay with. I'll probably do some Demo Knight gameplay. I don't know if you guys know, but probably my favorite weapon for demo, or in the game, probably my favorite melee weapon besides for Spy's knives is the Hasvatochi. It's just so overpowered. I love it. It's just, there's nothing better than just going up and just smashing into a crowd with the Targin charge and just destroying them because they can't kill you because you have constant health. You can't do that with the Persian Persuader. The Persian Persuader is good if you need like health and you're just roaming. If you're in a battle, the Hasatochi is so much better. Now their team, I don't know why, is super oblivious. I got 3 stabs in the same space and none of them even turn around. Now admittedly Dorgs, the guy who had an expensive loadout before, was in the middle of a battle, so it was a pretty easy stab. Right there, I get destroyed by 3 of their teammates teaming up on me, so they finally realize that I am not a gibbous and I am not going to just run in front of them and try to face stab them literally to death. Not like the trick stab, like running and hitting them in the face with the knife and getting mad because I only did 40 damage. That happened to me when I first started playing this game. Sorry, a little cough. When I first started playing this game, my friend who introduced me was like, "Oh, Poccus, did you know that hitting someone with a knife will insta-kill them?" Now, I thought I was dead from that heavy, and the pyro was a little oblivious. He's proved to be a good pyro, so I was like, okay, I'm dead when he came through. Sorry, I just sort of cut myself off in the middle of that sentence, and then I went on a server and I tried to hit people in the face with the knife a lot, and managed to get myself killed a lot. But back to the matter at hand, I run in here, I'm just like, I'm gonna go kill all of them, and then, yet again, the knife goes up, and I stab late. I don't know. I'm not good at stabbing if I wasn't planning the stab. If I was planning the stab, I can do it alright. And right here, if my ambassador aim was okay, like even slightly okay, I probably would have gotten that. But I was just like, I'm gonna knife him to death. I'm gonna matador this unusual wearing scout. So, I mean, I was pretty rash. Now I cut there because I had become medic, I think. I became medic or soldier for a while, and I wanted this to be an entirely spy video, so I'll definitely do some gameplay with other classes, but I wanted to do spy because I love spy. Now, right here, I don't know, I see this heavy coming out, and all of a sudden he just turns around, and I don't know, I'm like, that's dumb, but his medic probably said I need a sandwich. That's the same guy who always has crits. He even has crits on his quick fix. I think that was just a visual glitch, but I got destroyed by random crits. I need to change my settings so that when I do anything, it immediately does it, because I have, it takes like half a second, like, I click the button, then it happens with my dead ringer, so I definitely need to fix that, but I can't really blame it. I made a stupid decision. Now, again, I stab him right behind, I don't know, it didn't make the crit sound, but I stabbed him directly behind him. It wasn't even a trick stab, it was just I came up behind him and I stabbed him, and it didn't kill him, so I was getting a little mad. I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? How is he doing this? So I rashly just ran in there. I mean, I knew that there were going to be people in there, and I'm like, I'm going to trick stab all of them and then get headshots on their dead bodies that are going to still be fighting me. So I had to activate my DR, but I did manage to get out. And I'm going in again, and this time he's alone, but this guy comes through, and I don't realize that he wants to dance. He starts dancing a little bit late, and, well, I face stab him, I butter knife him and kill him. Then I kill the heavy who had been killing me before, because instead of doing the smart thing and just walking by and getting a more important stab than a low health heavy, I stabbed him, and then I got hit by the Boston Basher, so I had to bail. Now, I don't know, I'm still, like, awestruck by anybody who has an Australium, so right there I'm like, oh my god, he has the caper, or whatever. Ooh, my voice cracked there a little. And so I was like, oh my god, I need to do it. And yet again, he turns around right at the right moment. At this point, I'm like, okay, I know that he's just on the mic with his medic, and his medic definitely called that. I mean, it was obvious that I was a spy. So I was like, oh, come on, he's too good. Same guy, and this scout got him. He looks like he's going down, but he's a pretty good player. I mean, he has an unusual, which obviously makes him a good player. No, it doesn't. But, yeah, he seemed pretty good. Now, I rushed out here with my dead ringer, expecting to be, like, hit with, like, 5 crits at the same time, because, like, I don't know, the cart would have been being pushed, but I didn't even look down, and I get this, and I block a shot for the soldier. It was sort of on purpose, sort of not. I didn't want the soldier to get set on fire, so I just sort of ran up in front, sort of rashly, and this heavy, I don't know what he's doing. He's only using the gloves of running originally. He gets a shot at me, because I get caught in the doorway. I don't even try to matador him. Now, I see this medic tried to dance, so I'm not going to mess with him again. I'm going to leave him alone. So I run up, and this heavy was just trying to beat me up before, so I stab him. I probably shouldn't have. He was probably trying to hoovy. So I leave that medic alone. I watch him. I mean, some people will try to get behind the enemy lines like that, and he offers me a flip. So I take the flip, and I don't know if he was working together with that pyro or not, but it really looks like it. So I was like, oh, okay, I see what you guys are doing. So, I mean, it's definitely a good way to farm achievements, but I think it's not a nice thing to do. I mean, just go on an achievement server, for God's sake. That's besides the point. They're like, all they need is a spy to come up and push the cart a little bit, which is why I love Spy. Spy can do so many things. He's definitely not the best class. But I come through here. But he has a lot of utility like that. I come through there, I sap, I stop my scout from being killed, and I don't think that engineer really knew what he was doing, because he was shooting at my sapper. And here's this guy again. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get him this time, and he actually top scores, and I saw a pyro before, and I missed the initial stab, but then instead of strafing forward to get it, I noticed that there's another pyro, and he's seen my teammate, so I go for him instead. And this guy, I take it wide in case he suddenly comes out, so I have room to back up. And there my knife goes up again. but I missed the stab. Now, I love crouching by the cart. It's so powerful. But I stopped talking to the medic because I knew he was just farming kills for his little friend right there. And I don't know what I was thinking, but I just like, it's a good idea right now if I run over to the ammo pack. So I ran over to the ammo pack with my dead ringer up. I'm not sure what I was thinking, but a sniper sees me, and well, anybody who has played TF2 for more than about a week would know. Well, no, anybody who's played TF2 for a reasonable amount of time would know that no random person is just running over there to the ammo pack, especially, I don't know what I was disguised as, but I mean, I was pretty conspicuous, especially since I bumped the demo, and he probably saw that. Now, I put my dead ringer up, and I purposely bump into the demo just to get my DR up, so it looks like I was just going for, like, a gibbous maneuver. So I come up here, just to get behind them, more than I already am, and I don't know. This guy sees me, so I'm like, okay, I'm backing up. And I should have gotten the medic stab. My knife raised, and I stabbed, and I didn't get the crit sound, but my knife had been raised when I stabbed. I'm sure if you slowed it down, my knife came up. It probably did, actually. I sort of saw it come up, just because the medic moved, like, just a tiny bit, and yeah, but, I mean, it doesn't matter. I was pretty mad at that point. I'm like, they're so lucky. But someone on my team gets a nice market garden on the cart. And yet again, I'm holding down tab because I see they're calling spy, and I'm checking if anybody on the other team is dead. I go up there to check if the ammo pack is gone, since that's a pretty nice spot for spies to go. And I come through here trying to get the demo stab, but he notices me, so I just get really aggressive and see if I can get him to hurt himself, but he doesn't. He just triggers my DR. And I get killed because I was a moron and I didn't just pull out my ambassador. So now I was like, okay, let's try out a different loadout. So I decided I'm just going to equip the bicycle, nothing crazy. And yeah. So once I respawn, we have the Spycicle, the Ambassador, and the Dead Ringer, and I don't know, I managed to escape because of the Spycicle, and when I come back out, he's not there anymore. I don't know what happened. He was covered in piss. Somebody probably killed him, but during the time that he spawned camp, people couldn't get out, and we lost to stop the cart, and I mean, I probably should have just let him harass spawn, because I couldn't have done anything. I'm a bad spy. Even in a good spy versus pyro is kind of difficult, so we're back. Another round. I'm getting some overheal from the medic, which is nice. I mean, I have managed to kill myself in the startup time on accident without using the killbind key. I have actually killed myself with fall damage in the startup time. So it's probably not a bad idea to give me a little overheal. So yet again, I'm just holding down tab for no reason. But, yeah. I'm just waiting right now for the round to start, both in commentary and in playing. But I'm just running around. Also, a really nice tip is that don't always disguise as your own team during the startup time so they don't know that you're the spy. Now, I had turned invisible and turned uninvisible there, so, I mean, I don't really see what the point is. And I actually have the crit guy here, and he has pretty expensive loadout, so I was like, oh my god, he is so good, I should be his best friend. So I run in, I see there Ubert, I invisible watch, and I back out. Now, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that was within audible distance, but it didn't really matter. I just butter knife that guy. I actually don't manage to get a stab, so that was pretty cool. I managed to butter knife somebody and still get the backstab. I shoot a little bit before backing off. Of course I don't land the headshot. In the footage that I've recorded now, I think it's some Your Eternal Reward footage. I've changed my crosshair just to default because that worked much better for me. I actually landed some headshots. So I'm coming back around the cart, and I see that my soldier friend is harassing them from the back, so all their attention is going to be in the back. And instead of doing what a smart spy should have done, I come and start to bother an obviously pretty aware heavy and medic combo. So, I mean, I come back for seconds, even though I know it's not going to work. And they see me and they shoot me. Now the medic and the heavy are yet again communicating with each other. So the medic called out spy, and the heavy saw me. So I mean, it's definitely a communication. Like if it's a bad medic, they're not going to call spy, and they're just going to run at them with their uber saw. Although then if it's a good heavy, they're going to turn around. But I mean, if it's a good heavy but a bad medic, the bad medic, right? If it's a bad both, then well, you can just get a chain stab off. If it's a good if it's a good medic but a bad heavy, they'll call spy, expecting the heavy to turn around, and the heavy will just be like, "Oh, okay, you can go at him." And yeah, I would have gotten that pick, and I would have died, regardless. But I'm kind of glad this was sort of just like telling me, like, go to hell, Poccus, you can't use this bicycle, you're not good enough. So yet again, I'm just spamming tab, and I'm like, holy crud, I'm top scoring, and then I realize, wait, there's no skill in top scoring, it's just playing for longer. So, I don't know if I change my loadout now. I don't change my loadout now. I see the shadow, and I just go up to check. I just stab him because I was like, oh, there's nobody here. I need to stab someone. And I see the telly, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take this. And it literally takes me right in front of the spawn. And I don't know what I was doing here. Once they cap third, that door opens. I really should have just waited until they cap third. But I come around. I mean, I would have been right behind all of them if I had waited for that door to open. And I get out with 1 health from what I can see on this dinky little screen. And yeah. So I go and grab the health pack. That soldier grabs the health pack, and instead of going back and grabbing the large health pack, I just decide to run in with the Invisi Watch. And because my reflexes are too slow, even though my knife went up on the sniper, I didn't click until too late now. I don't know, I go into spectate, or I try to, and then it tells me I can't because, well, that would unbalance the teams. And I'm not really sure what this guy was doing. This whole round he was just sort of running around and doing absolutely nothing. But, I keep trying to join spectator just because, I don't know, I'm kind of tired of playing. I'm like, alright, I want to see what some of the good players who actually know what they're doing are doing. So I come around this way, just like in the beginning of the video, but instead of being able to get a stab, I fail the stab, and then I get it the second time. So that was the guy who had got me earlier, and the medic comes through, and instead of fighting him, I literally just cloak until I get down to super low health, and then I miss the headshot. And then I see, oh no, wait, he's overhealed, and then I get killed. I mean, if you're in a medic versus spy fight, you should win as the spy. Unless you're like me and you don't know how to use your ambassador and you're way too knife heavy. And that medic knew what they were doing. I mean, to the extent where they saw that I didn't know how to use my guns, they would just stand still so I didn't have any chance of trick stabbing them. If I had been using my gun, they probably would have pulled out their melee and set me up for a matador, but since I didn't use my gun and I missed the easiest ambassador shot ever. Yeah, now I come out a little tentatively here and I see the telly. I hear the telly sound first and then I look over and see it, so I'm like, alright, I'm going to take this down now. I wait before nobody's here, and then I sap it and I shoot it just to make sure the engineer can't get there first. And I leave it at really low health, so if the engineer gets there, I still have time to bail. And it's going to be dead. I mean, you don't have to shoot it all the way down. Now I come down again, and I go for the medic, then I back out, I get into here. I love this room. This room is really nice. It has pretty high, it has a small health and ammo, but that's still okay. Now, I don't know how I mess up that stab, but 2 stabs in a row, I mess it up. But this looks like the end of the clip, and I will see you guys in the next one.